Hey everybody, it's Torrance with Sword Guy Builds. Not many people know this, but the first ever Sword Guy Builds project overview was supposed to be for a matching pair of 3-foot main gauge bullwhips. That couldn't happen because of some tech issues I experienced at the time, so I figured I would come back and redo it now. These whips will be very basic, but they'll have some very intricate knot work. Hope you enjoy. The handles for these whips are going to be 5 inches. Because they're a matching pair, all components need to be cut, prepped, and braided as similarly as possible, so the weight and handling are the same between the two. After the cores are attached and pared down, the bellies are prepped and also attached. All braiding for whips needs to start very strong and gradually ease up a little. This is why handles and transition zones always take a little extra time. Once the bellies are braided and rolled, they're fitted with bolsters. I first establish the diamonds on one handle, then on the other, then I take the braiding up to where the belly ends. Most makers will work pairs in segments like this to ensure all the same decisions are made for both whips. Before I can trim down the belly tails, I need to take a moment to strop away the clinical depression. Trimming core components in matched pairs is always a little nerve-wracking for me, but as long as the mass and length of analogous strands is ostensibly the same, there's really not much else that can be done. A very steady hand and strong leather help a lot though. When I'm doing this, I also try to make sure my hands are braced against each other so that I don't cut myself if the knife skips or the strand breaks or I trip. When this is done, I finish out the braiding and fit the whips with falls. The heels are capped off, and small anchors are fitted for my accent knots. I don't usually do this, but these knots will need some extra care. That being said, these knots were murder. The plan was this. The interweave from the heel knot forms open lattice over the handle and gets interwoven itself at the anchor point. For this to work, the 6-bite heel needs to reduce to a 3-bite long knot to make the lattice. I've tied long knots before, no big deal. What I didn't realize is that the math for long knots of even bites is different from the math for long knots of odd bites. So the first base knots were tied. Then I tried twice to get the long knots right. This failed. So I cut everything off and spent some time trying to figure out what the problem was. When I realized what I needed to change, I retied the base knots and got the lattice established. But when I went to interweave the lattice, I found that it was too short and couldn't bite onto my anchor point. So I cut everything off again, prepped new strands again, tied the knots again, and then was finally able to get the finishing interweaves in. For all the headache, I do think these whips look great, and the handling is incredibly smooth and very comfortable. And for now, there's no whip like them in the world, which is always a plus for me. Thank you all very much for watching and for your continued support. I hope you enjoyed it and that you're all staying safe. Make sure to swing by swordguybuilds.com to see all the available in stock, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.